Hi everyone, Heather here with astrologywithheather.com, and I am back with another weekly forecast. This one is for Monday, March 1st, all the way through to Sunday, March 7th of 2021. And good news this week. We have a conjunction, the final conjunction actually, between Mercury and Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius. This is an inspired energy, a genius activation. When I see this in somebody's chart, I know that they're going to be highly intelligent. I know that they're going to have a lot of brain power and a lot of ingenuity. They're going to be very innovative in their thought processes. And this transit helps us all to tap into that energy. In addition to this, Mars, which has been transiting the sign of Taurus for several weeks now, about 6 weeks now, and squaring all of those planets, that stellium that we had in the sign of Aquarius, it's finally moving on to Gemini. Oh my goodness, this is going to feel like a sigh of relief. First off, when we have Mars in the sign of Taurus, Taurus is a very slow-moving energy, right? It's an energy that takes its time, and Mars wants to go, go, go. Gemini is a little bit more up to pace with the energy of Mars, to say the very least, but we're not going to even have a sign-based square between Mars and Saturn and Jupiter, and also a sign-based conjunction between Mars and Uranus. And so this is going to feel very nice. It's going to be much more pleasant moving forward, and we will get into that in just a second in greater detail. But before we do, I just want to mention, for those who are new to my channel, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an astrology update. I do a new forecast every single Saturday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And even if you're not new to my channel, the way that I structure my forecast is that I always do a 5 to 10 minute general forecast first. Please do not skip this, because it's going to provide an important context for the energy that we're going to be discussing in the more individualized, personalized readings for each of the 12 signs. Speaking of which, when we get to the forecast for all 12 signs, make sure that you listen to your rising, your sun sign, and your moon sign to get a more holistic overview of the energy for the week ahead. Your rising sign will be the most predominant energy and the most accurate to your real life experience, because this is going to set up the planets in transit in a similar position to where they will be in your actual birth chart. Your sun sign will be a secondary energy. This is called a solar chart. And your moon sign will also be important to listen to, but that influence is typically more subjective and more internalized, unless, of course, maybe you're a Cancer rising or a Cancer sun sign, in which case your planetary ruler of your chart is the moon, or the dispositor of your sun. And so that's my little spiel there. And then at the end of the video, I do a 2 to 3 minute overview of next week's energy, so you can be even further ahead of the game in planning out and maybe planning around some of the challenges, although next week is looking beautiful as well. I love the March energy. I've been talking about this energy for months now. I've been talking about it in how great the Spring Electional Astrology is for my Spring Electional Astrology Guide, which is available down in the description below. And so I'm super excited that we're finally here, and I finally get to talk about it this week. And so this week we start out with, again, some really positive energy. So that Mercury-Jupiter energy, this is a divine inspiration. This could be a flash of insight. There's something that you maybe have been mulling over and wanting to expand on, or an opportunity that you've been wanting to create or take hold of over the past 3 weeks with Mercury retrograde. And even probably prior to that is when that seed of intention was set, or when something was maybe set in motion or put into your mind. And now we're finally getting this opportunity to get the ball rolling, to move forward. There could be important, like, divine messages that come through some sort of inspiration through another source, or very literally you could have messages like letters, text messages, emails, phone calls, communications that come in this week that inspire you to change something, that inspire you to move forward with your plans, with your ideas. This energy is also really great for embarking on a new educational journey. We have Mercury, the planet of the mind and intelligence. We have Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and expansion through actual experience, right? They both have this association with learning, with teaching. And in Aquarius, this is about learning something new, innovative, exciting, outside of the box, eccentric, or something that is Aquarian ruled, such as astrology. And that's actually why I'm launching the early bird enrollment period for my brand new 32-week astrology program called the Cosmic Academy of Astrology on the 4th of March, aligned very specifically with this energy to enhance the success of my students who enroll in this course. So I'm super excited for that. So if you're somebody who is new to astrology, or if you're somebody who's been trying to learn astrology for quite some time, but you're having trouble putting all of the pieces together, integrating all that information to actually bring meaning to it, to read charts, to understand planetary aspects and other more complicated types of interpretations. If you're somebody who wants to go beyond the basics and learn how to make actual predictions, if you're somebody who wants that interaction, that mentorship, the ability to ask questions and have them answered and to connect with your fellow students, this is the course for you. I've been working so hard on creating the perfect course. I've been asking you guys what you need and want and what you're struggling with, and I have designed this for you. And so if you're not already on the waitlist, the link for the waitlist will be down in the description below. And once enrollment opens, I'll also post that enrollment link here on my YouTube channel for those who are subscribed. So just keep that in mind because that's happening on the 4th early in the morning. I picked a specific electional time for this. And anyway, so kind of moving on from that, we do actually have one more energy to talk about. So that Mercury-Jupiter energy bringing wonderful messages, beautiful surprises, right? It's helping us to feel inspired and excited, and it's helping us on a mental level to create more opportunities. It's bringing new opportunities through connections and communications. I love this. This could also be really good ideas for, creating some sort of humanitarian project or helping people who need help, which I know after what happened in Texas and all that, there are people who need help. So maybe this is going to bring about that humanitarian aid from a grassroots level, right? It's like the government's not going to take care of this for us. Hierarchies aren't really the way to go with this. This is grassroots movements taking shape here. And there are a lot of grassroots movements that probably need to take shape in this day and age after everything that's gone on in the past couple of years. So I'm really excited to see what comes out of this energy. And also, like I mentioned before, Mars is moving on from that Mars in Taurus transit, right? And so we had Mars in Taurus for roughly 6 weeks now, and that's been troublesome. It's like this hurry up and wait stuck energy where there's like a lot of frustration, this big need for change. And between Mars being in Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign that doesn't move very quickly, and Mars squaring Saturn, right? Hitting that energy as well. It's been like roadblocks and challenges that are causing us to have to make changes to our plans that delay things sometimes rather significantly. There's been a lot going on. We've been talking about this for weeks now. I won't get completely into it. But when Mars moves into Gemini, Gemini is quick. Gemini moves fast. Gemini is a little all over the place. So I feel like this is going to bring over the next few weeks, people just starting a whole bunch of stuff all at once. I'm guilty of that too. I'm starting a course. I'm giving a free training. I've got a million other things going on. And I know this is going to be hitting my Jupiter. I'm going to be overdoing it, of course. But, I think for everyone, this is going to be part of the experience where it's like, we've been waiting. We've been on lockdown. We've been, having all of these delays on a personal level, lots of rearranging, challenges, the need to change things very gradually. And now it's like, all right, I want to start all the things. So maybe pick and choose things that you want to focus on the most. Don't start all the things all at once, but this is a great time. This is a great time for initiating new ideas, initiating collaborations, initiating communications, initiating all of those Gemini types of things, and maybe, initiating a few things at once and seeing what sticks if that's something that you need to do or you really want to do. As long as you don't scatter yourself too much, I would say that is going to be a hang up. And if you are a Mars and Gemini person natally, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that would be the one drawback, but this does give us momentum. And oh my goodness, I feel like we need some momentum. Every time something has started, it's been like start and stop, and then move sideways, and then move this way, and then go back, and then start again. And this is the time where things can actually happen. So I love this energy of Mars moving into Gemini, and we'll talk a little bit about what you guys are going to be feeling the most fired up about when we get into the forecast for all 12 signs. But before we do, I have a couple of quick announcements. The first one being that I am offering a free training for aspiring astrologers all about everything you need to know about becoming your own astrologer, about learning how to form the right foundations in order to understand how to put everything together to read charts. This is something that I decided to do after doing a lot of research and putting so many things together for my Cosmic Academy of Astrology, because I was just getting the same feedback, the same information from so many people. So many of you are learning about astrology from different resources all over the internet. You're feeling chaotic. You're feeling like you're having trouble pulling it together. And it's the same people that are kind of all over the place and maybe not having a focus that are actually reporting, and this is what I assumed would happen because I was there myself, but they're actually reporting that they're struggling to put things together, to read aspects, to read charts, to do more complicated interpretations. And so if that's you, this training is for you. We're going to go over the top 3 mistakes that new astrologers and new astrology students often make that really hinder your development and growth as an astrologer, that prevent you from learning these concepts, that stall you out and cause you to take 10 times longer than you need to learn these things. We're also going to talk about some very common mistakes, some very common astrological misconceptions that you might not even know that you have, that are so common, and that literally, if you guys knew these things, I wouldn't get half the questions in my comment section or on my, Instagram when I do my Q&A, or in my classes when I do my webinars. I wouldn't get half the questions that I get because you guys would understand how to do these interpretations without needing to ask these questions. And so I want you guys to watch this. And also, I'm going to cover holes and gaps in your foundational knowledge base. And this is completely for free. And so the link for this is down in the description below. This is also happening next week, aligned with that Mercury-Jupiter energy. But in addition to that, as I mentioned before, my Cosmic Academy of Astrology will be open. You will be able to finally enroll. So many people have been emailing me and asking me about dates and everything like that. And if you have questions, you can send me a message, but you're going to get all of the information very, very soon. And if you're on the wait list, you're actually going to get a sneak preview of what's going to be in the course on Tuesday. So make sure you sign up for the wait list. And that is the exciting news. I've been working hard on this. So I am going to be talking about it today. All right, so let's get into the forecast for all 12 signs, beginning, of course, with Aries and with Aries rising. So for Aries, this is a nice one. So you guys might very literally get a message from your friends or from a friend, from groups of people, networks of people that you surround yourself with by choice. This could be you initiating some sort of idea to help people on a group level or something along those lines. This might be you engaging in some sort of group learning activity or learning exercise. This would be a really great time for socializing, where socializing with people and communicating with your networks can provide opportunities and inspiration in ways that you never could have predicted. So I highly recommend, putting yourself out there this week at least a little bit. And that Mars energy is moving on to your 3rd house. And that's actually great because this is going to be sextiling your ascendant sun or moon. And if you're an Aries rising, over the next few weeks, this is going to be hitting your descendant in a positive way. This is a good time for you to get fired up about a community project, fired up about something you want to communicate, fired up about a new educational pursuit. So maybe you're taking my Cosmic Academy of Astrology program. Maybe you're learning about something different. Maybe you're launching into something, or you're about to launch into something in partnership with somebody else. All of these things you have the green light to do. You'll have the motivation and the energy to do it and to stick it through. When Mars aspects your ascendant sun or moon in a positive way, it's one of the best times to get something going because you will have the energy to make it happen. You'll have the enthusiasm to feel inspired about it, and you'll be super ambitious, but not in a way where it's over the top and you're going to get burnt out. So this is a time for you to, think about initiating whatever it is you've been putting on the back burner over these next few weeks. You have that green light, and I would highly recommend taking advantage of it while it's here. Okay, so for Taurus and for Taurus rising. So for Taurus, this energy of the Jupiter-Mercury conjunction, it's happening in your 10th house, which is an area that's been quite disrupted. Some of you might have been having a lot of chaos around trying to start something new or assert your independence in the area of the 10th house, which is career, public reputation, and public image, public status in some way. Even if you're retired, it's about your legacy that you leave behind after you're done working, what you do after those years. And so for some of you, you might have been forced into making some sort of change or becoming more independent in your work due to the loss of a job or something along those lines. And for others, you might just feel like you need to. You might feel inspired to become more independent because your whole life is changing as a Taurus with Uranus in your sign. And so now's a time where you get an important message, an important invitation, an important inspiration, a divine inspiration even, that seems genius, right? It's going to awaken you to opportunities and potentials through this communication or through these ideas that you never saw before. Maybe you've been mulling it over, maybe you've been almost there, but you haven't quite hit that mark. This is the week where you hit that mark and you are ready to set something in motion with a new career path or something brand new when it comes to, again, your relationship with authority figures, your public standing or public image, your your legacy that you leave behind, after you're no longer here, those types of things. Also, we have Mars moving into Gemini. You're going to be feeling fired up about some sort of financial endeavor or financial pursuit. This is something that's going to be activated on and off for the next several weeks. And this is a time where you might feel like, all right, this is it. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to start making money more independently. I'm going to look at more independent sources of income. Or maybe this is you saying, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to buy the thing. Maybe there's a major purchase that you've been dwelling on or thinking about. You've had the North Node in your second house. So you've had maybe some financial changes, financial ups and downs, or maybe even financial windfalls, or, maybe there's an investment opportunity. But there's something here over the next few weeks where you're going to be making moves. And they're going to have to happen quickly. It's kind of like this energy of something comes up and you have to take quick action on it in order to benefit financially or to benefit from that purchase. And so keep that in mind because Taurus is typically a little slower to make these types of decisions. But for you, with Uranus in your sign and all these other things going on, I think you're going to be more open to it. For Gemini and for Gemini rising. So for Gemini, this energy is really nice for you. This is happening in your 9th house of higher education, of travel, of adventure, of learning, of philosophy and religious value systems and integrity and all of these wonderful things. You've been working on changing something about your mindset, about your worldview, about the way you view the world around you, God, the universe, all of that, and how that frames your reality, how that frames your perspective on reality. This has been a time where you've been shaken out of old patterns of dogmatic beliefs that frame your reality, and you're having to change your mindset or your worldview pretty dramatically as a result of that. This is also an energy where you're learning a lot of new things, and it might have been challenging at first. You might have had some ups and downs and some delays and some needs to, and the need to kind of pivot and gradually make changes to your plans in these areas. But, now's a time where you're going to be, this is for Geminis in particular. Geminis are already very quick-witted. Geminis already are very curious. This is an energy where your curiosity is going to peak like tenfold, especially if you're a Gemini sun, moon, or rising around 17 degrees, and you can receive a divine inspiration or a message from the universe that will impact you directly, and it'll change your path for the better. This is also a time where it's an optimal time for you to start learning something new. If you've been thinking about taking some sort of course or going back to school, maybe to get a second degree or to get a degree for the very first time, now's the time to do it. If you've been thinking about traveling and that's something that's available to you, now's the time to make that happen. This is, again, that's not going to be for everyone, but I know a lot of people here in the US are talking about traveling to Mexico and doing things like that or whatever once things open up in the spring. And so this is a time where you can do that, or you can connect with people, or this could be a divine awakening or a divine inspiration or an opportunity that comes through somebody at a distance, through somebody who lives in a foreign country or who is from a foreign culture. This could also be you wanting to engage in teaching and sharing information, sharing your wisdom, sharing your experience with others in sort of an educational setting or through publishing a book or something like that. You have the green light. You're going to feel so inspired. And with Mars transiting your sign, you're going to be fired up and ready to go. I would just say don't rush and don't move too quickly through everything, because there is a likelihood of making mistakes, and also there's a likelihood of accidents and injuries on a minor level. I'm not saying you guys are going to get seriously injured. That's not the case for most of you, but this is literally a time where you're rushing through things on a mental level and on sort of a metaphorical level, but also on a physical, very literal level. And so a lot of times when you have Mars transiting your first house or transiting your sign, you'll bump into things more. You'll cut your fingers, you'll stub your toes, you'll bump your head, you'll do those things because you're just in a rush. You got all this energy. So you need an outlet for that energy. One of the best times to get some intense physical activity going if that's something that's available to you. But otherwise, yes, you're going to be feeling fired up. You're going to be feeling ambitious. You're going to be feeling motivated for the next few weeks. Take hold of that and use it wisely while it's here. For Cancer and for Cancer rising. So for Cancer, this energy is happening in your 8th house, which is the house of money, specifically other people's money, debt, joint finances, inheritance, taxes, insurance payouts, things of that nature. And so this could be an important message that comes in that provides an opportunity through an investment, through an insurance payout, through your partner's resources, or an opportunity to settle a debt or pay off a debt in some way. Something can come about that can help you on this path and on this journey to achieve your financial goals, especially related to those joint financial ventures that I just mentioned. This could also be like an epiphany moment or an inspiration that relates to a past wound, a past trauma, an obsession, the need to let go of some sort of addiction or obsession or compulsive behavior, because this is the house of addictions. And so it could be that this is where you have that aha moment and you're like, I'm finally going to quit smoking, or I'm finally going to quit drinking. I'm finally going to quit doing this, bad habit that I have. This is also where you'll be very easily able to, on a mental level, work through and overcome past experiences on that psychological level that have been traumatic or that have been causing you to hold on to some sort of fear that's controlling you from the inside out. You also have Mars in the 12th house, which is not the most active house, but this does indicate to me that there's something, especially with that 8th house energy activated too, there's something that you might be working on behind the scenes, behind closed doors, or on a spiritual or metaphysical level. You might be feeling fired up about a new spiritual practice or something along those lines. It could also be that there's something that comes up for you rather suddenly involving 12th house institutions, like a retreat, like maybe a short mini retreat. That would be something really great to do with this energy, especially if it's active in some way, like it's a yoga retreat where you're moving your body, right? Even if it's online. This could be a really great energy. Also, well, and it could bring up things maybe that are not so great. So 12th house institutions include hospitals, prisons, rehabilitation centers, not just retreats, not just temples, not just like religious types of institutions and things like that. And so, it could be something comes up really quickly or really rapidly that causes you to have to deal with those institutions in some way. But for the most part, I would say that this is going to just be a restless energy on a subconscious or sort of, internal level. And it could be that you're probably not going to sleep very well. Like there's usually disturbed sleep or like crazy, really active dreams around the time that you have Mars transiting your 12th house. So that could be an option, or not necessarily an option because you don't get the choice, but that could be a potential of this energy as well. For Leo and for Leo rising. So for Leo, this is happening in your 7th house, which is the house of partnership. You might have had some dicey experiences involving partnerships, involving contracts, involving negotiations, involving agreements, involving friendships, involving marriage, involving all of these things over the past few weeks, and especially as those things relate to your business, your career, your public standing. There's a lot that's been up in the air. You've been very all over the place and scattered in your connections with other people. And now's a time where, you might get some benefits from that, but you also might receive a really positive message, a divine inspiration, an awakening that comes through somebody who's very close to you in your life or through some sort of partnership. If you've been working on a contract or some sort of negotiation or agreement, this is the time where things might finally make sense, things might finally work out. Things might finally come to some sort of resolution if you're negotiating something. And so this is a really beautiful time. This is also a beautiful time to just have some sort of communication, really important one-on-one with somebody. It'll go a lot more smoothly than it would have gone in the past few weeks, even if you are revisiting it and it's gone poorly in the past. Whoa, a lot of snow just fell off my house. Even if it's gone poorly in the past, this is a time where it might go a lot more smoothly. Also, we have Mars moving through Gemini in your 11th house, which is the house of relationships, especially friendships, social networks, groups of people that you surround yourself with by choice. You might be fired up to get out there, to socialize, to meet somebody new, or to start something like a group related project. And now's the time where over the next few weeks, you'll have the motivation, you'll have the energy, it'll go much more smoothly. And also, Mars will be sextiling your ascendant, sun, or moon. And if you're a Leo rising, this will be trining your descendant. This is one of the best times to initiate action and to start something new because you will have the energy to carry it out and to see it through. For Virgo and for Virgo rising. So for Virgo, this energy is happening in your 6th house, which is the house of your daily routine activities that you have to do to maintain your existence. It's your daily work routines, it's your daily health routines, it's your nutrition, it's your exercise, it's the way that you show up in service of other people that can be in there too. And so there's something here that you're feeling inspired about when it comes to your work, and you're going to probably really want to take hold of that inspiration and run with it. And so you've had a lot of chaos when it comes to your day-to-day activities and interactions. You've had a lot of chaos when it comes to just getting things done and focusing on your work. Now's the time where things finally start to clear up, where you finally gain clarity, or you feel more back online mentally, or you feel more inspired to do the work that you came here to do. This is also where you could get some sort of important message that comes from an outside resource involving your health. So maybe you've had a health issue that you've been stuck on, or maybe you just get this insight or this inspiration or this information that leads you to the right nutritional program, diet, or exercise program to improve your health in some way. Mars is transiting your 10th house, which means that you're going to be feeling really fired up to jump into something new, to initiate something involving your career, your public reputation, your relationship with people in positions of authority, which might be a little dicey, by the way. You might have some arguments and disputes with your boss, or you might feel some frustration with somebody who's in a position of power over these next few weeks. You're going to want to work independently. You're going to be like on a mission. And this is the house that also rules like your big overarching like goals and ambitions. And so you're going to be feeling fired up. You're going to need goals for the next few weeks. So set your goals. Plan to achieve something, because you're going to be really achievement focused over the next few weeks with Mars in the sign of Gemini. Okay, and then for Libra and for Libra rising. So for Libra, this energy is happening in your 5th house. Lucky Libra again. I know that there's been some diciness still, even with the positive alignments for Libra, because we've had that Saturn-Uranus square. We've had all of that crazy energy in Aquarius. We have Mars in Taurus too, activating that. Well, now Mars is moving on, and Mercury is actually in an exact conjunction with Jupiter. And this is going to be you feeling really inspired to do something that you love, to do something that you're passionate about. This could also be some sort of romantic message that comes in from a partner or from something along those lines. But this could be just you having a really great idea about something that you want to pursue that you are going to feel really passionate about. This could be you engaging in an innovative new hobby or passion pursuit. This is also Mars moving into Gemini, which is excellent, excellent energy. This is going to be Mars trining your ascendant, sun, or moon. And if you're a Libra rising, this will also sextile your descendant in the next few weeks. This is by far one of the best times for you to initiate anything when it comes to your biggest goals, when it comes to your biggest visions for your life. Anything that's in alignment with your beliefs, with your framework for this reality, with your integrity, you have the green light to take those opportunities and run with them. You have the green light to start and initiate something really important right now. You'll have the motivation to do it. You'll have the energy to do it and to carry it out. And it's likely to go a lot more smoothly for you. So this is good energy. Things are lightening up even more so for Libras. And then for Scorpio rising, you have had quite the stellium of chaos in your 4th house. I know, because I'm also a Scorpio rising. I'm with you there. And now this is a time where you're going to have some sort of divine insight or some sort of divine inspiration involving a project in the home or involving the need to change something in your home environment. It's where you get an important message that changes things or that causes or brings about some sort of opportunity. This could also be where communications improve in your home environment or with your family or with your parents in some way. And so that could be a very welcomed change or a very welcomed energy. This could also be impacting you very personally. This is hitting all of your angular houses. And so especially if you're a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, anywhere from, let's say 12 to 22 degrees. This could be squaring your ascendant sun or moon. And this, also is opposing your 10th house of career. So there could be some sort of career inspiration coming or some sort of important message that comes to you through a close friend or through a romantic partner that changes things for you. It provides new opportunities to change something in your home environment or to change something on a personal level. Mars is moving into your 8th house, which could be a little bit challenging. There's something that you have to take action on involving your money, your resources, your joint finances. It could even be that your partner initiates something that brings in more money, or it could be that all of a sudden you realize that your taxes are due and you have to pay them right away. And oh my goodness, how am I going to make this happen? Or, you get a bill that is like one of those things, immediate due or something like that. That could be part of it too. This could also just be you feeling really fired up about some sort of investment that you want to make, or feeling really fired up about paying off debts or gaining more independence financially. And that could be one of the more positive energies that could manifest as a result of this transit. For Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. So for Sagittarius, this is actually happening in your 3rd house, which is a great energy. So this Mercury-Jupiter conjunction is going to be providing you with maybe very literally in the 3rd house of communication coming in that provides some sort of opportunity or inspiration that you wouldn't have otherwise had. This is you having like genius ideas, right? Downloads, inspiration. It's like everything that you think of this week, it's like, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever thought of. So keep a journal. You're going to have a lot of ideas, and most of these ideas are actually going to be pretty good. And there's some stuff that you've been mulling over and thinking about and trying to plan that maybe hasn't been going your way so far because of the alignments that we have had. Now's a time where those things can actually start to take hold and make more sense, so you won't be so scattered. This is also a time where it could be a good opportunity for you to engage in some sort of educational pursuit or certification, especially if you're learning about something that's a little bit more unusual or outside of the box. This could also be a really great time for short distance travel or for engaging in something involving vehicles or the purchase of a vehicle, where otherwise there would be a lot of chaos in that area. So it's something to think about if that's something that's applicable to you. Also, your communication and partnership with other people, if you're a Sagittarius rising, will improve pretty dramatically. This is a great time to form new contracts, negotiations, agreements, to connect with other people one-on-one, to discuss things, to mull things out, to brainstorm. Great energy. Also, Mars in your 7th house, you're initiating something brand new in partnership with somebody, or at least you're going to be feeling fired up to do so if that's not the case for you. But this could also cause separation, arguments, disputes in partnership. And so that's something to kind of be aware of, because you're going to be focused. You're going to be focused on what you need. They're going to be focused on what they need. And so there could be some conflict there. But this could be best used to initiate something together as a team with somebody else, right? So that's something that you could use this Mars energy for in a productive way. Okay, and so for Capricorn and for Capricorn rising, this energy of Mercury conjunct Jupiter is happening in your 2nd house, which is the house of finance. It's the house of money. It's the house of, resources in the way that you spend your money. This is where you're going to get an important message that involves your finances or involves an important major financial transaction or involves an important expense or an important purchase that you want to make. This could be that you get a message in the mail mail or something like that, and it's like you know, won some money or money is coming to you in some way, or you've received a bonus. You could get a message from your boss, right? I'm giving you a bonus, that type of thing. But this could also be like the thing that you've been wanting to purchase, it's on sale or the price is reduced and you're ready to take hold of that opportunity. That could be a big part of this too. So there's something on a financial level that you're going to want to engage with. And, you know, it's really exciting. This could also be you finally doing that thing that you've been wanting to do to create more financial independence or to create resources more independently on your own outside of like a corporate setting or something like that. Now is the time where that opportunity can really take hold. Mars is going to be in your 6th house though. So you're going to be feeling more fired up on a day-to-day level for your work. There might be more work on your plate that is urgent for you to do, so you might be kind of all over the place there. But this is also a really great time for you to initiate really important work-related projects, to initiate, especially like with your health, a new exercise routine or something like that with Mars, right? Using your muscles. As long as it's something that's exciting and that you can kind of change it up with that Gemini energy in your 6th house, I think it'll go quite well and you might actually be able to stick with it at least for the next 6 weeks. Maybe doing like a 6-week shred, or I don't know what people do, but something like that. Okay, and so that's for Capricorn. And Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This is happening in your sign. So Aquarius, you are the genius in this situation. You will be the source of your own inspiration. This is going to come probably most likely from your own mind, whatever it is that's causing you to change something, that's providing a new opportunity. This is going to be like a light bulb comes on and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think about it in this way? You know, why haven't I been doing it in this way this entire time? And so this is going to be a really welcomed energy for Aquarius. You guys are already really sharp, but you've been scattered. You've had so much going on all at once with all of these planets in your sign. Now is a time where it's like, okay, this makes sense now. Now I know what to do. Now I know how to use this. You might just have like this really brilliant epiphany moment that leads you on a completely new path or a completely new direction in your life, just in general. Mars, and this is great because Mars is also in your 5th house. You're going to be feeling so passionate about anything that you want to start, anything that you want to create. This is a great time for you to engage in a new hobby or to start something new, like a new passion project, or to initiate maybe something like a business. You know, 5th house does have that association with entrepreneurs and turning your passions into something, you know, maybe bigger or different than that. And so this could be the time, but whatever it is, Aquarius, that you feel fired up to do, that you want to initiate over these next few weeks, this is your time to do it. You're going to have the motivation to do it. You're going to have the energy to stick it out and see it through. This is one of the best times when Mars is trining your ascendant, sun, or moon to get things going. So take advantage of that energy while it is here. And then finally, for Pisces and for Pisces rising. Pisces has this wonderful, beautiful energy in the 12th house. This, I feel like a lot of Pisces people, because Pisces are more open to this anyway, but because of where this is happening, you're going to be getting divine insights and divine inspiration, messages through your dreams, messages through the subconscious realm. It's going to be like something just kind of comes to you fully formed, and it's like, oh, that's how you do that, or that's how I should go about this thing, or that's the next step or the next stage that I've been mulling over. You've been feeling frustrated internally about something, and now this brings clarity. Finally, when you need it most. This could also be that you've been kind of studying or tinkering with something in secret behind closed doors, and now you have that aha moment and you're ready to take it to the next level or take it to the next step. This could also be an important message that comes from one of those 12th house institutions, like you know, it could be hospitals, rehabilitation centers, ashrams, temples, monasteries, retreat centers, things of that nature. There could be a message that comes to you, or maybe an invitation or an opportunity to like go on some sort of retreat. That would be a really great thing to do with this energy. And traveling, if that's available to you to do some sort of retreat, would actually be wonderful for Pisces. So if that opportunity arises and it feels comfortable to you and it's available to you to do so, I mean, that's a great energy. And even if it's like an online retreat or something like that, but I think that that's going to provide you with opportunities that you wouldn't have otherwise had access to. So that's a good thing. And then Mars is in your fourth house, which is the house of home, family, property, real estate. There's something that you're feeling fired up about initiating or changing in the area of home, family, and property. This could be that you want to move, you want to buy a house, you want to renovate. That would be a very Mars thing, using sharp tools and instruments to demo something in your house. If that's something you want to do, go for it because you have the energy for it. Especially if it's a shorter term project, like you're just going to do a quick renovation, or you're going to like knock down a wall or something. And it's only going to take a few weeks to see it through. This could be a really great time for you to do that. On the flip side, this could cause frustration in the home. It could cause arguments, disputes, difficulties in communication with your family members, things like that. Also, you're going to feel really restless at home, so you're going to want to get out there and do stuff. And when you're at home, you're not going to feel like you're going to be able to sit still, and that's going to last for a few weeks too. But for the most part, you could utilize this energy to initiate something with your family, initiate something with your home, initiate something with a property that you own. All of these things you have the green light for. So that is the energy for Pisces. And let's talk about the energy for next week because I'm super excited for it. Next week, we actually have this really beautiful new moon in the sign of Pisces. And this is one of my favorite new moons. This is going to be like magical. I am super personally excited about this new moon because it's in a conjunction with Venus and Neptune, while Venus and Neptune are in an exact conjunction in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces, if you remember me saying that a couple of weeks ago when it first moved in here. This is one of the most compassionate, creative, beautiful energies in relationships, in the creative sphere. This is a very good energy for setting something in motion involving spirituality or spiritual entrepreneurship or mysticism or metaphysical types of things or creative pursuits or painting or art or film. There are so many wonderful things that you can do with this energy. And of course, that's going to depend on where it's aligned in your chart. And so we'll get into that next week and next week's forecast. But if you want to set your intentions with a group of like-minded people, I always do a new moon gathering, goal setting, and lunar month ahead forecast live with my cosmic community. And so we'll actually be doing this one on the 13th. So next Saturday, which is not what we usually do, but that's just the way that it actually fell on a Saturday on the new moon. So I'm excited to actually do it while the energy is present. And you'll learn about how to set the right intentions, what intentions are right for you. I do like journal prompts. I talk about different intention setting tools. So that's really exciting. But for everyone, I love the energy of next week and this new moon. I feel like this is where we finally start to get some hope. We finally start to get things going. A lot of really great opportunities. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and share this video with your friends if you feel like they might benefit from the information I provided to you today. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.